I mean, the youth of today, fucking hell.
They're trying to eliminate bullies, which will never happen, when they should be teaching their kids resilience.
What happened around the rest of the world, but it was fucking disgusting to think you're an Australian and see these cocks in there fighting over fucking toilet paper.
Most of the time it was unfair and no one gave a stuff. And you build a resilience out of that.
That's only because they're dumb cunts and people with brains.
Like, so, Mother Nature isn't all embracing. Mother Nature's out to kill you.
Like fucking koalas. How much money do we spend on koalas for fuck's sake, trying to protect them? The world's fucked. But I think COVID's showing how resilient people really are. I mean, if there was ever a major conflict or anything ever really happened, this country would be fucked. I mean, people are queer. They just no idea about helping each other. It's just one out and we'll stockpile toilet paper. I mean, that just shows how fucking smart they are.
Yeah.
But imagine if there was a major conflict, like what would happen to the people here? That's,
It actually scared me. It scared me because you're right. You had people stabbing each other over fucking toilet paper. Like something you can use pretty much 50 or 60 different things around the house, including the cat, to wipe your ass. And they're fucking in a shop fighting over a bit of fucking flimsy tissue, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, well, that just shows you where we're at. I mean, we noticed it obviously here. I don't know what happened around the rest of the world, but it was fucking disgusting to think you're an Australian and see these cocks in there fighting over fucking toilet paper.
But that's one of the things about when I was looking at resilience too. I'm not sure where it come from. I don't know. I can't remember if we grew up with it. I suppose we did. But people put a real positive fairy tale spin on the world and about life. Like people expect to live in a fairy tale where they live happily ever after, and it never happens. Very rare. You go through life just grabbing those those tiny fucking tidbits of happiness. But people say that they've got rights, humans should be this, they should be that. When in fact we're just part of the animal kingdom. And if you look at the animal kingdom, it's fucking vicious. It's nasty. It's evil. Like say, Mother Nature isn't all embracing. Mother Nature's out to kill you. It's just the resilient species or the resilient subsection of species are the ones that survive, the ones that can overcome whatever Mother Nature throws up against them.
I mean, being an animal in the wild, it's a constant life of fear. You live in fear every day of whether you're going to get a feed if you're a carnivore and if you're hunting food, or whether you're going to get killed by something else. It's just a constant struggle. That's how they live.
Yeah, David Attenborough was reportedly said that probably 90% of what they film they got to throw away because it's just too shocking for people to watch. People wouldn't watch nature documentaries if they saw what the nature documentaries actually showed. They've got to find all the nice fluffy bits and stick in a few nasty bits here and there.
And I think this is where we fail, as we should be the alpha predator on the planet, where we spend time protecting like fucking koalas. How much money do we spend on koalas for fuck's sake, trying to protect them? For what? What do koalas fucking do for you? Do they lay eggs? Can you eat the cunts? What do they do? They sit around, they're like the fucking dole bludgers of the animal world. They sit in trees, they get stoned on eucalyptus and fucking give each other chlamydia. That's it.
Yeah, but you're missing the point, boy. They're cute.
Oh, fucking cute. So they're in the zoo, just breed them in the zoo. It's the fuckers. They're not strong enough to survive in the wild. It's not the only species ever be wiped out.
Yeah, 99% of them have been wiped out so far, I think it is.
Fuck them out.
No, it's just the way of the world. We're part of it. Now the missus is chucking in her 2 bobs worth.
What'd she say?
She goes, thanks to us. I don't think she means us specifically, but...
We didn't wipe out fucking dinosaurs, Trace.
But we...
I don't know, there's two on the fucking YouTube channel right now.
Do you hear that?
No.
They're not wiped out. There's two talking on a fucking YouTube channel right now. That's a bit fucking awesome.
Yeah, I reckon. Lucky we're resilient.
I'm just scared, mate. I'm just scared. I just go, yes, dear. That's not resilience. That's self-preservation.
That's part of the animal kingdom. You live in fear constantly.
No, but you can understand, buddy, parents trying to, protect their kids, but put them in bubble wrap, and you can see where they're coming from. But it does more harm than good, because I don't want to use us as an example, because we're probably not the best example, but just remember when we were growing up, some of the things, I don't know if you remember half of it, but a time in Nelson's Bay when we were in a house by ourselves up on top of the hill, miles away from anywhere. And Mum and Dad were working in the Sundowner pub, and that fucking hailstorm come through. Do you remember that?
No, the only thing I remember us doing was setting fire to the fucking field next door to us where we were living then with crackers.
Yeah. And again, that showed our resilience, because instead of waking Dad up, who was drunk on the couch, we went and fucking put the fire out ourselves.
That was good,
yeah. No,
I don't think we were ever told life's fucking great and things will be rosy. Well, I don't remember ever getting told that. Getting told, get up, get a job and fucking look after yourself. Don't worry about any other prick, just make sure you're all right.
Well, we probably spent, because Dad pissed off and Mum was working 2 or 3 jobs, so we spent most of the time looking after ourselves at a young age too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What about the pedophile or potential pedophile in Coffs Harbour? You remember that one when we went across to the park across the road? We're living in the pub. I remember that. You're pretty young again. We're living in the pub at Coffs Harbour, the Plantation Hotel, I think it was. And across the road was a park. And Mum used to say, take your brother to the park, because I had to walk you across the road. We got there, we're playing on the swings and that, and this dodgy old prick in a fucking trench coat, that's how I remember it anyway, come fucking waddling over. He said, "G'day, boys, you want some lollies?" And fucking alarm bells started going off in my head straight away. And I had to fucking drag you away kicking and screaming, because you're going, "What kind of lollies has he got?"
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, we got through that. Lucky you had a big brother to protect you, but then again, you probably just missed out on a shitload of lollies because of it. I think that's the only real dramas I can think of. Oh, that bloke tried to break in the house in Wollongong. Mum fucking ran off and left us in the house by ourselves. Remember that?
I remember some wild trips home with Mum when we were kids, coming home from parties.
Yeah. Do you remember Dad letting you drive home from Tralee that night?
Yeah, I sort of remember sitting on his knee steering.
Yeah, he was sitting on his knee steering. He was as pissed as a nit, and me and John were sitting there shitting ourselves because Dad was half passed out with his foot on the accelerator while you were trying to keep the car on the road.
I must have done all right. We were here.
Yeah. Well.
As an ex-foreman in the earth moving game, when I started in earth moving, and you did something wrong that was stupid, it was your own mistake, you would absolutely cop it, just abuse, and that was normal in the workplace. And I was brought up on that, so when I was a foreman, that was the same thing I did. I was good to me blokes, but if they did something wrong, you'd give it to them, and they'd write letters about you. They'd send emails to the bosses, and
well,
fuck me.
I've often said throughout my life, the stint I did in the army was probably one of the best things that could have happened to me, because they were real bastards. There was no fairness. There was no you have rights or anything. You just did what you were told, that no matter what. But most of the time it was unfair, and no one gave a stuff. And you build a resilience out of that. Getting in the shit when something you didn't do, and getting in the shit for stuff you did do. It's just one of those things that, I reckon it shaped my approach to life when I was, from being in there. But as I think I told you before, I ran into a couple of mates who stayed in. You know, they did their 20, 30 years. And some of them become RSMs, regimental sergeant majors, and one of them was telling me he spent a lot of his last couple of years writing letters of apology to troops who he'd talked to too harshly. And I go, fuck me dead. He said, no, you wouldn't believe it, mate. You wouldn't recognise the army from when you were in to what it is today.
Yeah. Well, that's like the building industry now with safety. I mean, safety's gone absolutely ridiculous with paperwork and trying to make building sites safe. Building sites are inherently unsafe, and you have to use a thing called common sense, which you're not allowed to say anymore because apparently common sense varies from people. That's only because there's dumb cunts and people with brains. So you can't make a building site safe with paperwork. You can sit there and tell them 57 times about the one hole in the ground. There's going to be some dickhead walking along looking at his mobile phone or taking a selfie, and he's going to fall in the hole because he's a fuckwit. That's what happens. So the best way to deal with it is get rid of them blokes. You point out who they are, you figure out who they are, worry about safety, fuck him off, and we won't have any accidents.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. What's the fucking big market?
Yeah, your daughter was saying that she couldn't handle your background and couldn't handle my voice with the reverb from the camera mic. So I dragged out the old one I got for when I used to do voices for the animations. What do you reckon? Fucking Alan Jones eats your heart out.